And Ingrid from Metal Master Kingdom, JJ Tartaglia.
Yes.
Very good. We are here to discuss Wacken Metal Battle 2014.
Excellent.
But before we start there, the association, Heavy Metal
Musicians Association in Canada.
Is that where?
HMMAC. Right.
Is that where you started from to get to where you are?
Well, they've played I guess an important role in the whole thing. It's an association based in Montreal. Obviously, they have some presence here in Ontario and Toronto, and I think they're trying to get out west. But basically, because we did the battle for the first time last year, was just Toronto and Montreal. We just did the two biggest cities because it was the first year. We wanted to see how it was going to go. So my partner in Montreal was actually he runs the publicity for HMMAC, and the booker there was also a big part of the organization. So I think they had more of an important role in Montreal than they did in Toronto, but they definitely helped things going for the battle.
Was it bigger in Montreal? Were there more bands involved in Montreal?
It was actually smaller, just because Montreal is a smaller city, just less population, so we're looking at less bands. I think they ended up having 16 bands in total in Montreal, and we had about 25 in Toronto.
Now that is surprising, given that Montreal's always been given the kudos of being the metal city of Canada.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, Quebec in general, right, is known for extreme metal in general. A lot of metal bands come out of Quebec. But again, I think it's just a population thing. You look at Toronto, but we also got the GTA. There's a shit ton of metal bands, in and around Toronto. So I think that's why, there were just more bands that applied for Toronto.
Well, Metal Master Kingdom did cover the 2013 series, and it seemed to be very popular, and it got a good crowd out there. Going on to our next question is, did you consider last year successful overall? Definitely.
Oh yeah, I can definitely answer yes to that. All the shows were a success in Montreal, in Toronto. The finals went off great at the Opera House, and honestly, we couldn't have asked for a better result. With Crimson Shadows winning in Germany, I think obviously there's always going to be some bands that were spiteful because they didn't win or whatnot. But I think when Crimson won in Germany, it just kind of really reassured. Yeah, that's the best we could have asked for. So first year coming in, couldn't have asked for a better start.
In my heart, I knew they were going to win, so no surprise. So you went over with Crimson Shadows. You were over there with them.
I did.
How was the camping?
Camping was rough, honestly. Funny story, because we were pulling in, we got there about a day early just to set up and everything. So, and same with Crimson. And I remember they had asked me before, do we need to bring tents, right? So, and I told them, no, you don't need to bring tents, right? What are you, stupid? There's going to be, accommodations there for you guys, right? So, I'm in Germany, hanging with a good friend of mine, an old buddy, in Dortmund, which is a couple hours away. We're drinking, we're making our way up to the festival, and I get a phone call from Crimson. They're like, in a text, urgent, and they're like, man, we don't have any tents here, help. And I'm like, oh no.
So you're sleeping under the stars.
Yeah, so, and it started pouring rain that night, and they had all their equipment and everything. It sounds worse than it was.
Whatever could go wrong,
it did, yeah. But no, I ended up getting some tents for them, and sorted them out. They had some people there that helped them. They put their gear where it was dry.
Nice.
A couple of the guys were crashing in some neighbors' tents. It's kind of that nice community that you get.
Yes.
Everyone's there for metal. Everyone's there to enjoy themselves and support.
Right.
So they help a few, straggling
Destitute
Canadians. Yeah.
Canadians.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, but no, it was great. It was really hot. Weather was extremely hot. You wake up gasping for air in your tent. And, for my first experience being in Wacken, it was great.
And how was the beer?
Beer was excellent. I mean, the festival was sponsored by Beck's, one of my favorite beers personally. So amazing.
Yeah. So a good time was to be had.
Definitely. I think that would be an understatement.
When they announced that Crimson Shadows had won the Wacken Metal Battle series in Germany, they competed with 30 bands.
Yeah, well,
29 bands. They were the 30th band.
Something like that, yeah.
Having that announcement that they won that title,
yeah.
I mean, what kind of feeling, or joyous, obviously, but
yeah, for sure. I mean, for like all of the promoters actually have a meeting before the press release to announce the official winner. So I mean, I had the privilege of knowing ahead of time.
But you didn't pass it on?
You have to keep your mouth sealed. It's part of the honor system. Like nobody speaks of who wins kind of thing. So it was a bit tricky, because I was really excited too. So I had to keep my mouth shut. And they were asking me about it, and they were like, "Oh, so did you find out who the winner was?" And I was like, "Oh, you know what? They changed their mind. They're not going to let us know until tomorrow." So that way, just kind of.
You got out of it.
Yeah, and then the press release, they have all the cameras there, all the press, and the organizers come out and announce the winner in front of everybody. I mean, obviously, it's an amazing experience.
What a secret to have to keep.
I know, yeah. I'm glad I kept it.
2014, the new series is coming up. There's another Wacken Metal Battle in Canada.
Yes.
It's expanded now. We have 5 cities. Did you want to elaborate on that a little?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it was part of the initial plan to expand to really a full national competition. Obviously, like I said, last year was just the 2 biggest cities, and we got quite a bit of flack from out west because there's a lot of bands out there that wanted to play, and they were like, "Oh, why isn't it coming to the west?" And we're like, hang on, it's going to come next year, and I'm glad we were able to deliver on our promise. So. I went out to the Noctis Festival in Calgary a couple months ago, and with Asher,
John Asher,
our publicist.
Asher Media Relations.
Exactly, yeah, and we were able to do some serious networking out there. That's where I got rounded up the promoters for Calgary, Edmonton, and Vancouver. So now I'm happy to say we have the full 5 cities, and these are 5 major cities, right? So I'm sure the West is happy. All the bands out there can apply. If you live in one of those major cities, and you're gonna have your shot this time.
Even Vancouver, I actually have a band that came to me for information. So, Bellmaster Kingdom has listed all the information, and bands can sign up as of December 5th. Bands can sign up for the 2014 battle.
That's right. Yeah, December 5th, and submissions close January 31st. So it leaves a nice big open window for anyone who is interested.
What is the cost involved?
The cost for a band to apply is free. So it's as simple as you go on the website, you fill out a form, website, all of your details and everything, you submit, and then the selection process is based on a bunch of categories, criteria that we use to eliminate the bands and choose the best ones based on your recording, your past experiences, or whatever.
Right.
So there is no cost. The only thing that we're still working out is for the West Coast bands, because the finals are going to take place in Toronto again.
Yes.
Exactly, which I'm really happy about. But obviously, I mean, for example, Vancouver is really far away. So if for the Vancouver finalists to come to Toronto, there's obviously a huge cost involved with that. We are working with the local promoter there to set aside funds towards gas money or van rental or whatnot to at least help out with that. So I mean, the West Coast bands might have some expenses to get to Toronto for the final, but we're working to really eliminate that as much as possible.
And being the first year expanded, perhaps in coming years you'll have more sponsorship.
Ideally, I mean, if all of the bands could be driven or flown to Toronto for the finals, that would be a perfect world.
My final question, what is your goal with this whole scenario? What is your ultimate goal? What do you foresee?
what I see is really a full coast-to-coast competition with all provinces involved. And, you know, some provinces obviously have less population, so they're seen as less important. But that's not really the case. You know, all of the provinces, all of the major cities or capitals in the provinces have great bands and great metal bands, and they should have a chance to play in the battle, you know. So I mean, I want to expand to out east. I'm from out east, so
Right.
I've got a soft spot for the East Coast. It was really tough for me not to do it this year,
Right.
but one step at a time. Like I do want to involve Halifax, you get Newfoundland in there too, and just have a full national competition that just really represents Canada and heavy metal in Canada
Right.
on a whole entire scale.
National level.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for taking the
No
time
problem.
to talk to me
My
today.
pleasure, Ingrid.
And let's keep metal alive today for tomorrow.
All right.
Thank you.